Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. I am Johnny B, the Blabbermouth, out for another walk. Let me just get a better handle. I'm using the phone here. Nothing fancy, nothing fancy. I actually do have a clip-on microphone at home, but I haven't been bringing it on these walks. But anyway, yeah, another new, I call it trail. It's really a walkway. I go to my local Walmart, and I drove by this a few times. You got to park up by the main road, which I don't know if you could see behind me. Yeah, I see cars back there. But I sometimes see cars back there and people walk this. So it's so close to my house, maybe quarter mile, maybe slightly more than that. And since it's so close to home, and get out and get a good walk in on my journey to be more healthy, get some weight off of me. Sorry, I'm just checking out the sights here. But I've never done this one before, and I wish I can give it a name, but it doesn't have a name. It just seems like this road that I'm walking in, this sidewalk, has some blockades, if you will, blocks so no one can drive up this way. But I don't know where the sidewalk's gonna bring me. But I don't have Riley with me today. You know, the last walk we did was in Centennial Park. I forgot the name of it. It was where the water treatment plant was when we did 3 miles. She might have hip dysplasia, in her back, and she was hurting for at least 24 hours. She could barely do the stairs. She was limping. You know, she could walk. She actually jumped on the bed and jumped off, but may have overexerted her a little bit. So in the meantime, I play with her in the backyard. I run with her. She loves the rope. She loves to pull on the rope. I have the ball she'll chase every now and again, but that rope is her thing. So maybe I'll do a video on Riley pulling the rope one day, because she's vicious with that rope, man. And I get a good workout too with her. So I just want to rest her back a little bit. And when I want to go on longer walks, I may just go solo. And if I only have time to do shorter walks, I'll bring Riley with me. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, my situation, still trying to look for a job. Yeah, so as some of you may know, the division under the corporation I was working for moved back east as of March 31st. Today is, I think, May 10th, 11th, 2025. I've been looking for work ever since. It seems like it's starting to pick up a little bit. I did go on an interview yesterday and on site, so I passed the recruiter call. Then spoke with the hiring manager for about a half an hour on the phone. And then the good news is that I went in yesterday to meet with the team. And the team consisted of the hiring manager, who would be my boss, 2 engineers, and then the second team was really just one individual who was an engineer, also more about new products and existing products, and then 2 quality folks. Things have changed so much. I just need to switch hands here, guys. Hold on. Yeah, I need a tripod. Well, I do have a tripod, but the shoulder gets a little tired at times. So anyway, yeah, so 2 engineers, and these are 2 guys I probably wouldn't be working with much. But things have changed so much. I haven't had to look for a job since I was probably a teenager, quite honestly. And if I wanted to look for a job, it was on my own terms, because I was currently working and looking for a change. Now it's, I need a job, right? So things have changed so much. The whole process has changed. A lot of these companies want you to use the STAR method when you answer. If you're unaware of that, it's situation. What was the situation? So first they ask you a question. and you got to go star. So it's, what was the situation? What's the task that needed to happen? What was the action you took? And what was the final result for star? And you have to answer these questions in the star method. First group probably gave me like 20 questions. Second guy wasn't too bad, maybe 4 or 5 questions. Third group, which was 2 guys, which I wouldn't be working with much, but one guy really like wanted to get down into the nitty gritty of some of my experience that was on my resume. It almost seemed pointless. I understand that they want somebody who knows what they're doing. I've been doing what I've been doing for over 30 years. This person was much younger than me. I'm not saying that I know way more. I got to switch hands again. I'm not saying I know way more than anybody. Don't get me wrong in that situation. But the thing is, sometimes I think it's just me when I think this, but the way they grill you, I don't mind tough questions. I don't mind a challenge. I honestly don't. I've done plenty of interviews myself, and I've asked challenging questions. I'm all okay with that. I'll give you an example. I'm a line cook. Okay, a customer ordered a hamburger. What did you do? Well, I put the hamburger on the grill. When it was halfway done, I flipped that hamburger. When the hamburger was done, I took it off the grill. But actually, let me back up. While the hamburger was on the grill, I took some seasoning that we use at our restaurant and throw some on the top and on the bottom. A little bit of salt and pepper. When that hamburger was done, I took it off the grill. If the customer wanted that hamburger cooked a certain way, depending on how they wanted it, I would pull it off early for a more rare or medium rare, and I would leave it on longer, 2 to 3 minutes, for a well-done burger. Medium is our standard, I don't know, 4 minutes each side. But the questions that kept coming is, tell me how you put the salt and pepper on the burger. Well, I turned the salt shaker upside down and shook a few times, and I did the same thing with the pepper. And what was the end result of that? Well, the salt and pepper landed on the hamburger, seasoning it to give the burger a better taste. And is that the action you took? Yes, that's the action I took. What else would you have done in that situation? I don't know if there's any more I could have done in that situation. Maybe make sure I don't put too much salt and pepper on that burger. But otherwise, that's the standard procedure. Okay, what was the end result? Well, we brought the food to the customer, and the customer ate it. They did not return it, which in my eyes, that was a successful cook. And the people left and actually paid for the burger. What was the outcome of the customer? What did they think in the long run? Didn't specifically speak to. I mean, this is, I'm rambling, right? But you get where I'm going with this. An interview like that should be, hey, this guy knows how to cook a burger. He stuck to the standard procedure, 3 to 4 minutes each side, additional minutes for well, maybe 1 or 2 minutes less each side for medium rare. My point being is that, well, let me back up again. So this individual pretty much said, hey, you know, I know this has nothing to do with the job that you are applying for. However, I have a couple questions for things that are on your resume, which is fine. And I answered those in the STAR method, yet additional, like fine-tuned questions keep coming where there's nothing more to add. Like, I couldn't go into any much more. Like, I wrote the letter K, I drew a straight line, then I put a diagonal line towards the top part and met to the other line into the center, and then off of that line I put a diagonal line to the right. I mean, that's how minute this was getting. And I start to think it's me. I'm an angry old man now, right? So, but it's not me. Because when I go on LinkedIn, there are so many people complaining about the same thing. Like, stop putting candidates through such a grueling process. It's hard enough to go through every day and look for jobs, and the grind, and the amount of rejections are incredible. I probably applied to 300 jobs already, maybe been on 7 or 8, maybe 9 interviews. And I'm not the only one. I have a cousin who's does something with computers and quality, was out of work for 6 months. My other cousin's husband was out for a year. He has a master's degree in whatever he does. So it's not easy. It's stressful on the candidates. I don't mind tough questions. I understand interviews, but there's got to be a limit, and you have to have a feel for when you're interviewing people if you're the right fit or not. Do you have the right personality? Do you project and talk about the company values? Can you do the job? On my resume, I have a page and a half worth of 3 different jobs with a lot of responsibilities that I had, and I can speak to those. So I don't know. It's a tough process. Hopefully something lands soon. But in the meantime, I got to do what I got to do. What is this? Oh, 15 minutes of walking on my watch. Yeah, just so much different. I miss the days where you just walk in, ask someone if they're hiring, fill out an application. Maybe a manager will speak to you right then and there, and you're good. So much harder now with the online stuff going on. AI scans your resume looking for those keywords. AI kicks out those resumes and filters down the resumes that match the description. So every job you apply to, you almost have to tailor your resume so you can hit those keywords. Doesn't really tell you much about the candidate themselves if they're a good fit. You could be filtering down quote unquote good candidates who have the right words on their resume. Could be a total asshole. Treat people like shit at work. Attendance could suck. Right? I mean, think about it. Face to face is to me, face to face, reading a person, reading the body language, seeing how they speak, seeing how they speak to the position, if they have the qualification for the position. Not a damn computer figuring it out, because it's all lies. Everyone's tailoring their resume to just match keywords to get to the next step. References is another thing. You can call anybody, they could lie, right? But I have solid references. 2 of my old managers at the job that just moved be more than willing to, give me a good reference. They've mentioned it. I've still texted them and say, hey, I put you down as a reference. They said, no problem. They're ready. And some co-workers with higher level positions that I did not work for they also have my back. So it's important not to burn those bridges. But no one even asked for references, at least so far for me in this process. I think if an employer was interested in me, they'd probably want to call my old boss and say, hey, how did Mr. Blabbermouth respond to your questions? Did Mr. Blabbermouth give you the answers? Did Mr. Blabbermouth possess company values? Did he do this and that? Did he help make you your revenue? Did he, that's a valid reference. Not Jim Smith, known him for 3 years, he's my friend. Of course, friends would be like, yeah, awesome guy, love playing, MLB 25 on PlayStation with him. That's not gonna Whatever, that's nothing here. I'm at a crossroads here. Another Wizard of Oz deal. Well, I can't go that way. It looks like there's houses that way. No motor vehicle. It looks like there's a highway up ahead here. So I'm just gonna go straight. So that's that. I keep plugging along. Mother's Day is tomorrow. Trying to conserve money, as you know. I'm trying to spread it out as best as I can before I'm under a bridge like this one up ahead. Maybe I can scope this bridge out. Maybe this bridge would be a really nice, quiet place to live. Yeah, I'll do all I can not to get there. But anyway, nice trail too. They have garbage pails. They have the little containers for fresh bags. If you bring your dog, you pick up the poop. Washington State does a wonderful job with their parks. Yeah, so Mother's Day tomorrow. I'm going to stop at the store after this. Of all things, my wife wants jalapeno poppers. She loves my homemade jalapeno poppers, so maybe I'll do a video on that. There's really no rocket science to it, but they are delicious. I just got to be careful how much I eat because I love them and they don't love me. I don't know, guys. That's about it for now. Yeah, so I'll keep you posted on how things are going. Little Jurassic Park. Look at this. Wait, a dinosaur, some velociraptors coming out of here. Yikes. But it's nice to have the trail to myself anyway. But that's going to do it for me. Just a little bit of rambling, a little bit of griping. Frustration, you know, it's been 4.5 months. Never expected this to happen. Never had this issue. But the market's tough right now. So just keep putting my best foot forward, keep all my chins up. Not just one chin up, I'll keep them all up. And hope for the best from here. So that's it for me, Johnny B. the Blabbermouth. Thanks for going on a quick walk with me. I'm going to finish this off, hopefully hit 3 miles. And then, you know, cook some jalapeno poppers. And see what the rest of the day brings, all right? Everyone be safe, be healthy, happy. Good things are ahead for myself and you as well. So have a great day, everyone. So long. Yeah, I'm back. Editing Johnny here. So if you saw one of my other videos, I was walking the Centennial Trail and I drove quite a ways away to walk it. But that little trail I just did brings me to the Centennial Trail, which is here. So I don't know which way. I think if I turn left, I would be where I parked my car last time, but I didn't realize the Centennial Trail is so close to my home now. So you live and learn. So once again, Johnny B. the Blabbermouth, back on the Centennial Trail and never knew it. Please like and subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you see when new videos drop. Have a good day.